You talk about culture, whatever else you want to talk about. Yeah, they believe. They've been in so many of these games, like Dan Campbell just said, they're hardened. They don't even blink when they get down or bad things happen.
The Detroit Lions have proven that they are a powerhouse that is here to stay. The offense is so creative and so much fun to watch. And really, the entire team is starting to connect on all cylinders. I was wondering how they would respond after losing Aidan Hutchinson last week in that kind of fashion against a Vikings team that had not lost a game this year, not even in the preseason. And they showed us that they are not only one of, but might be the best team in football. In this video, I'm going to break down the win over the Vikings and talk about everything else going on with this team. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. So the Lions and Vikings went head to head in a thrilling game that kept fans on the edge of their seats. The Vikings struck first in the first quarter, with Aaron Jones breaking loose for a 34-yard touchdown run. Minnesota then added to their lead with a 57-yard field goal, making it 10-0. It looked like the Vikings were taking control early, but Detroit had a response. In the second quarter, the Lions came roaring back. Jahmyr Gibbs sparked the offense with an electrifying 45-yard touchdown run, cutting into Minnesota's lead. Just a few minutes later, Jared Goff found Amon Ra St Brown for a beautifully executed 35-yard touchdown pass, turning the momentum in Detroit's favor. With the Lions now in control, Gibbs added another touchdown, this time from 8 yards out, capping a dominant first half that saw the Lions surge to a 21-10 lead at halftime. The third quarter saw the Vikings attempt a comeback. Sam Darnold connected with Justin Jefferson on a 25-yard touchdown pass, bringing Minnesota back within striking distance, narrowing the lead to 21-17. But the Lions responded once again with Raymond hauling in a 21-yard touchdown from Goff, stretching the Lions' lead back to 28-17. In the fourth quarter, the pressure was on for both teams. The Vikings clawed back with 2 field goals, pulling them to within 5. Just as it seemed Detroit had the game under control, disaster struck. The Vikings' Ivan Pace Jr. scooped up a fumble and returned it 36 yards for a touchdown, stunning the Lions and giving Minnesota a 29-28 lead after a failed 2-point conversion. With time winding down, Detroit showed incredible poise. Jared Goff led a composed final drive, setting up Jake Bates for a clutch 44-yard field goal in the final seconds. The kick sailed through, sealing a dramatic 31-29 victory for the Lions and capping off an intense game filled with pivotal moments and resilience from Detroit. Jared Goff was outstanding, demonstrating incredible efficiency and accuracy throughout the game. He completed 22 of 25 passes for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, with a stellar 140 on the dot passer rating. Goff's ability to spread the ball across multiple targets kept Minnesota's defense off balance, and his chemistry with Amon Ra St Brown was evident. St Brown had another exceptional performance, catching 8 passes for 112 yards and a touchdown. His precise route running and reliability on crucial downs were key in keeping Detroit's offense moving, especially in high-pressure situations. Alongside St. Brown, Khalif Raymond stepped up with 3 receptions for 39 yards, including a 21-yard touchdown that gave the Lions breathing room in the second half. His big play ability stretched the Vikings defense and provided Goff with a deep threat option, while Sam Laporta and David Montgomery chipped in as reliable targets, keeping drives alive with crucial catches and short yardage gains. Laporta's ability to contribute as a tight end gave Goff a safety valve, especially in tight windows. Jahmyr Gibbs was the star of the running game with 15 carries for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. He showcased his explosiveness, vision, and ability to break off big runs, including a 45-yard touchdown that swung the momentum early in the game. In addition to his rushing dominance, Gibbs also contributed in the passing game, catching 4 passes for 44 yards, giving Detroit a dynamic weapon that Minnesota couldn't fully contain. On defense, Jack Campbell and Malcolm Rodriguez were critical in filling the void left by Aidan Hutchinson's absence. Campbell was a force all over the field, recording 7 tackles and coming up with a key sack that disrupted a Vikings drive. Malcolm Rodriguez also had a sack, showcasing his aggressive play and ability to get into the backfield. Brian Branch was a standout in the secondary, coming up with a clutch interception that stopped the Vikings drive and helped turn the tide in favor of Detroit. Kirby Joseph and Alex Anzalone added to the strong defensive showing, with Anzalone racking up 8 total tackles, including a couple of critical stops on 3rd down. The Lions defense may have bent at times, allowing some big plays, but they consistently came through with key stops, particularly in the red zone. Without Hutchinson's presence, Detroit will need to rely on a collective defensive effort, as seen in this game, where they recorded 4 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. Like I said, the defense did bend a bit, allowing big plays like Jefferson's 25-yard touchdown, but the turnovers and red zone stops kept them competitive. But with players like Campbell and Rodriguez stepping up on defense and the offense firing on all cylinders, the Lions showed their depth and ability to step up even with key players being out. Looking ahead, the Lions have a challenging road as they continue their season, especially with the recent loss of key players like Jameson Williams. Williams is currently suspended, and his absence will put more pressure on the remaining wide receivers to step up in critical moments. While Amon Ra St Brown continues to be the go-to guy for Jared Goff, the team will need players like Khalif Raymond, Sam Laporta, and even David Montgomery to shoulder more of the load in both the passing and running game. Jahmyr Gibbs will also of course play a significant role, not only in the ground game, but also as a dual threat weapon in the short passing attack. With Williams out, Detroit's ability to stretch the field vertically will be limited, as he was their biggest deep threat. This could force the offense to focus more on intermediate routes and ball control, making the running game even more important. Jared Goff has been excellent in the offense this year, but losing a speedster like Williams could impact the way defenses play them, potentially leading to more stacked boxes and tighter coverage on St. Brown. The Lions must continue with their creative play calling to keep defenses guessing. The Lions face a mix of tough divisional games and non-divisional matchups that will challenge both their offense and defense. Key upcoming games against teams like the Packers and Texans will be crucial tests, especially as their defenses have improved majorly from last year, which could disrupt Detroit's rhythm. The Packers secondary and the Texans front seven are units that could cause issues, especially without Williams to stretch the field. Additionally, they also do face other contenders such as the Bills that could present even more challenges. These teams have high-powered offenses, meaning Detroit's defense, especially without Aidan Hutchinson, will need to find ways to generate pressure and contain the offenses. But yeah, Detroit sits in a pretty good position after their win over the Vikings, but the road ahead remains pretty difficult. How will they adapt without Hutchinson on defense and without Williams on offense will define the rest of their season. They need continued strong performances from Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Amon Ra St Brown, while hoping that their defense can hold up against some of the elite offenses they'll face. If they can maintain their balance and adjust their schemes to handle these losses, Detroit could still be a top contender, but it will take a collective effort across the roster to keep their momentum going. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their recent post-game interview.
Beside the point, we're getting guys open, we're protecting well, and hitting them in stride, and it's just one play after another, trying to focus on each play, one play at a time.
Shoot, it's us against the world. We know how good we are as a defense, and shoot, for us to do that, it only boosts our confidence up.
With no Hutch, what was the attitude of everybody on this team in terms of what you felt like you had to do without 97?
Everybody had to step up. Each player has a role. Without Hutch, losing a big piece like that, everybody had to step up.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you'd like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.